content is for informational and educational purposes only. You should not construe any such information or other material as legal, tax, investment, financial, or other advice. Nothing contained here constitutes a solicitation, recommendation, endorsement, or offer to buy or sell any securities or other financial instruments whatsoever by Draper Goren Blockchain, aka DGB, the presenter, or other associated parties for the content being provided. Please do your own due diligence and seek proper counsel.
Boom. What's up, guys? Excited to be live. I know we came on like a minute early, but who cares? We got excited. That's true. I was literally playing the Dogami game, or Dogami, depending on where in the world you are and how you want to say it. You probably got some stories of people saying it in all sorts of different ways, but we're stoked to have Kris on. Kris is one of the founders of Dogami. I'm an early investor in Dogami and a big fan, but I know I'm going to be biased for that reason, but I've been super stoked and really excited because I've been playing the game with my kids lately, and I've been catching myself playing the game even without them, which I think is a huge and awesome sign, and it's a lot of fun. So we'll talk about it a lot today, but welcome.
Full disclosure, I do not own a dog, but I do own the Dogami token.
All right, you got some Doga tokens here.
But I'm sad I don't have a poodle.
You're sad you don't. Well, we gotta fix that. Say that again.
It can be resolved. This
can be resolved.
But I need a good looking poodle.
We'll get you one. A big poodle.
I think that matches one of my real poodles.
I'm pretty stoked. I've got I'll tell you, because I have the ones. There's the ones that you get with the app that aren't the NFTs, but I have the NFT ones. I've got a black lab, like a blonde or lab, German. Actually, the German Shepherd is the one that's not the NFT. I got a Chow Chow and a Border Collie. So, but I think I've got some others in another wallet, because remember I did we did some videos where I was like unboxing them back in the day.
Yeah, I remember.
Let's pause and have Kris show us the app so people know what.
Well, why don't we first tell us what the heck Dogami is, and do you want to settle it? If I, as an American, I say Dogami, but it's Dogami, right?
Well, it comes from the words dog and origami mixed together, so it's Dogami.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Well, you have the accent on the I also. That should tell me. Yeah.
Exactly. And if you flip the name in the other way, it says "I'm a god," which is the Dogami inverse, which is linked to the lore. But anyway, yeah. Listen, Dogami is this franchise that we're developing. It's a Web3 franchise that's built at its core to be able to extend in cross media. Everything is centered around our Dogami NFTs, which there are 15 breeds of at the moment, and our token, which is the Doga. And every experience is enabled by those two things, the NFTs and the token. And what we've put together is our first core experience, which is Dogami Academy, which is in a, let's say, open beta or early access phase of the game, in which you're going to be training your Dogamis in 6 very different skills to be able to compete against others and against the environment in obstacle course racing. So you train, increase your different statistics, and you unlock, you progress and unlock your Dogami's level, but also new powers, which give you a competitive boost in the races themselves. And each Dogami has some powers that are linked to that specific Dogami. So I'll have 5 power gems that you won't have, for example, that will give me a competitive edge on the different obstacles that I have in the race.
Exactly. So I've been loving it because I've been telling a lot of people pitch me for Web3 games and stuff like that, and they go straight for, maybe because of like the age they're in, or like the way, if you're a little older, like some of us, we grew up as games graphics became better and better and better. So a lot of people start pitching me with their game, talking about how realistic the graphics are and this and that, whatever. And then I explained to them that like the most engaging games that I play nowadays with my kids are on Roblox, and the graphics aren't the biggest thing. And I don't want to say that the graphics for your game aren't cool, because they're actually
because they're amazing.
They're really amazing. They really are, and we'll show it in a second. I love them. I'm a huge fan, but the gameplay doesn't have to be so crazy complicated. It has to be engaging and fun, and like you have to be able to the game mechanics are more important, is what I'm saying. And that, with Dogami, right? I got my dogs in there. I started playing. I realized, oh, if I train my dog, his velocity will get faster, or his swim power will get faster. You could jump higher, whatever, all the different attributes, and you can train them to get better, right? Like, it's very simple. And then the in-game stars that you earn for playing and stuff, you can trade for, more snacks to potentially train better, and all this stuff, right? Like, all the simple game mechanics make it super fun, make it feel like you're leveling up, right? And I love that about it, right? Like, it's not, some super overcomplicated shooter game thing where, like, if you don't play it for like 6 hours, you don't feel like you progress. Like, you could play while I'm in line to pick my kids up for school. I've like picked it up and trained the dog a couple times, or done a couple races, and it's super fun. Like, I love that it's there's of course like wrinkles in there with, it's I don't want to say I actually, that's not the word I wanted to say. There's things in there, right? Like the training and stuff like that, that makes it more complicated than just like opening up your phone and playing Candy Crush or something. But even that, like, is gotten complicated. And that's important though, because those are the things that, like, set it apart and make it better. And you do a tournament, and you're, I while we were waiting to go live, I did a race, and I got the best time trial score I ever got. Like, I was insane.
Yes.
Right. That got me super stoked. Then that's when David Rankin said, let's just go on early. Like, you guys are already playing the game. But I think it's super fun, exciting. You can see as you're playing it how it could get even better, and how crypt or Web3 features and stuff will bake in and make it super fun.
Yeah, thanks for that, Alon. I mean, the thing is, so to address kind of the art style and the direction of the game, I think one of the best examples that we could follow was Pokemon. We wanted, first of all, something that felt and looked authentic and original. So it had its own visual identity, its own universe in which you would be able to explore. And if you hear the Pokemon creators talking about Pokemon, although it's cute, it was created for an adult audience. Then after the different extensions that they built, the trading cards, the cartoons, etc., all that tapped into a new generation of audience members that then transitioned into the core gameplay experience that they were offering. And I think that's kind of the same thing that we're striving for. So if you want to have some elements of strategy in the game, you can have it. You can fine tune the way that you're going to go into each one of the different types of races, but it remains a casual game. And the look and feel of it is rather playful. I would say cute and cool at the same time. There's some elements of astronomy and history in there. If you look at the different environments, you've got Atlantis on one side and then Paris on the other. So a mixture of urban and mystical. And all this are the kind of ingredients that we're putting in the soup. And right now, what everybody is playing, because the game is available on the Apple Store and the Google Play Store, is more of a open beta / early access of the game, where you really have access to what we call in gaming the vertical slice, which is a little bit of each one of the features for you to be able to get the sense of the core gameplay loop. In June, and this we've communicated on, comes the biggest update to the app yet, which will implement a lot of the meta and let's say the depth to the core gameplay into the game. So today, where you have some interactions in the race which are limited to you activating your different powers, there will be other interactions that you'll have, and some more preparation to give that element of being able to make some choices in what you're going to combine together before going into an event. And obviously, all your traditional retention and monetization features of Web2 gaming, so that we have the perfect hybrid platform. So that's your daily quests, weekly quests, reward calendars, loot boxes for you to be able to get different varieties of loot box and start farming the different minerals or currencies that you need to progress, as well as battle passes, which are planned for September. So the battle pass is going to be every time around a theme. The first one we've announced is around the pyramids of Egypt. So that's when we're going to be seeing a lot of customization as well and things like that. So we're at 0.0. Although we've been in development for 2.5 years, we're really at 0.0 of the game as a service. From now, we've established the foundations upon which we're going to be able to scale through time.
I love it. I mean, yeah, I can see it. And then are there sorry, here's what I was doing. I was distracting myself in the other window, buying a few more stars with my Doga tokens so I could train my guy while we're still on the live stream. That's how much fun I'm having. But I can see where it's going. And even in the past, there were some drops, like you guys did a drop with like the Gap and stuff, right? Are we gonna get any love for having participated in that, or will I be able to wear my gear from the Gap on my dog anytime soon?
So the customization is going to be included in June. There's going to be first wave of customization, and then the big wave will come with the battle pass. And the idea is to continue to work with partners to offer some exclusive content. Now, the first content that's coming in with a partner is a partnership we've signed with Purina, which is today the largest pet food group in the world. So it's amazing to be able to get that kind of vow of confidence from a brand like Nestle Purina, in which we're going to do a sponsorship of the different kinds of treats that you can give your Dogami for the training to increase his focus, and some sponsored events with some Purina inspired environments. And then moving on, the idea is to bring in the different kind of poles that we want to work with: music, sports, fashion. We need to stay connected, and the app needs to stay connected with everything that's cultural.
That's super cool. Yeah, you guys have always killed it with the partnerships and connecting with those big brands. I think that'll be a big deal as you move forward, right? Like, it's again, there's so many of these games and people that just try to go, we're going to connect Web3. Free money is going to fall from the sky, and we're just going to, put something together that's crappy, and we'll do some big mint. We'll convince the apes to participate. We'll make $1 million, and we'll slowly vanish off the face of the earth. But you guys have always done from the beginning really quality partnerships, quality deals, and the product has been killer, right? So do you want to show us some of the game, or should we play with the game, or talk about
Sure.
Something we did, we did this a few weeks ago on the stream. I didn't even tell you before we jump in the game. You want to talk at all about the Sandbox partnership and the game within Sandbox? Because Rankin and we actually spent like probably an hour on this stream, maybe boring people. We played it for the first time live while the stream was going on, and we were like nerding out about swimming around. I was my ape in the Dogami world in Sandbox, and we were like running around trying to find Atlantis and all this stuff. It was really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely. So we have good relationships with the Sandbox, and specifically with Sébastien Borget, which is obviously an investor in our project. And we always wanted to see how we could bring a little bit more interoperability with our NFTs, but also find different platforms in which we can extend the narrative of Dogami and bridge audiences with one another. And audience members from the sandbox could discover a little bit about Dogami, but also the current audience of Dogami could go into the sandbox that supports probably more narrative than mobile games, to be able to tell a little bit of a part of the history of Dogami. And so in the partnership, we did a few mission-based quests that reveal a little bit of secrets around the Dogami lore. And I hope you guys didn't play with a keyboard, because I was playing with a laptop keyboard, and some of those like skills that you have to do, those time trials with the keyboard, were absolutely nuts. So we did the same with our community. Actually, we went on Discord, and community members came to join us, and we had a play session all together, completing all the different quests. And I'm very ashamed to say that I probably had everybody waiting half an hour for me to be able to finish the last part of it, as I was struggling with the keyboard. But it's a lot of fun, and we have another one on the way.
I was gonna connect the controller the next time I play it, but I use the keyboard a lot playing Roblox with my kids, so I was okay. Yeah. I'm sure if my kids were with me at the time, they would have been slapping my hand away from the keyboard and trying to take over, because I'm not as fast as them. But I'm all right with the keyboard. But you're right, there was a learning curve at the beginning. But it was super
especially
fun.
With the trackpad. Yeah. Like, I don't know if you guys had the trackpad, but trackpad and keyboard, one over another, you kind of playing like this.
Yeah, because you have to use the left hand for sandbox. Doesn't let you use your arrow keys. They force you to use the WASD, like that kind of. It was pretty funny, but it was great. I mean, it was really cool, because it was the first time, to be honest, I went in the sandbox for a long time, and I had previously gone in the sandbox, maybe a year or two earlier, where it was just getting started and just some basic stuff. And it was a really good and fun experience. So, and it was fun to see, like the dogs running around and the whole lore and all the fun parts of it. So it was really, really cool. So let's, we should go into, okay, you can see us and the game. I think this is the best way to do it, probably. Yeah, let's do it like that.
Oh, nice.
Look, see, we can see it. So this is the actual mobile app. And we should tell people, if you go and download the Dogami Academy app, even if you don't have the NFTs, you'll have 2 dogs in there that you can start playing with, and you can play the game, and it's super fun even if you don't. There is an added element of when you have your dog and you train it, and you know that it's your NFT that you have forever, and it's being trained, and all that is really cool. Actually, come to think about it, can I, like, if I go and try to buy a dog, do I know if it's been trained? Like, are there the attributes and stuff in the NFT marketplaces now?
Yeah, 100%.
So, for those who are watching, I've dropped links to the Dogami app on their phone in the various chats. Surprisingly, it hasn't shown up here in our chat, but if they're on YouTube or on LinkedIn or on Twitter, they'll find the link to the app.
Nice.
Amazing.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, David.
Yeah, we're having trouble. By the way, if anybody is like chatting and telling us where you're from, I appreciate it. But for some reason, StreamYard lately, because we have hundreds of people watching live right now. So I appreciate you and I love you. If you're sending like a note and question and I don't see it, I apologize. StreamYard isn't feeding in the comments like they used to lately. I don't know. They're probably fixing it. But yeah, let's jump in and look at the app. Oh yeah, there we go. The one from
some stuff is coming in.
Yeah. So some for some reason is coming, but some.
No, I typed that in the comments.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, so show us. So right now you're looking at the home page of one of your dogs. So you have a Jack Russell that's pretty advanced. It has some of the stones already. So the stones there make you, when you click on them during a race, it like boosts that thing for a temporary amount of time, right?
Correct. Yeah, 100%. I'm just wanted to answer your question before, because I think it's super important for anybody that's looking to purchase an NFT on a secondary marketplace. If you go to collections on Magic Eden or OpenSea or Rarible, you're going to be able to see exactly how much training each one of the Dogamis have done, and what training specifically, what skills have been boosted or not. So do refine your searches before you go ahead and purchase to make sure that you get exactly what you're looking for. And here, as you said, so we have one of the upcoming breeds of Dogami, which are part of the Play to Mint tournament that's going on right now. So if I go here, you can see there's this Dogami World Championship. This is a Play to Mint tournament that we have going on at the moment, in which we collaborated with over 20 plus partners, including Avigotchi, The Sandbox, Wanderers, Mochaverse, plenty of fantastic partners that chipped in NFTs as part of the prize pool, but we also have 4,000 new NFTs, Dogami breeds that are available for grabs, and a prize pool of up to 50K. So that's going on right now. So if you can jump onto the qualifiers, it's perfect timing for you to get your first free NFT. So I just want to show the 5 new breeds because not everybody has seen them yet. So here we have the Jack Russell. They'll be joining the Dogamis in.
Oh, this guy's huge compared to the rest.
The Great Dane is a beast. is absolutely awesome, and I love the Great. I'm hoping that I'm going to get a Great Dane in the tournament. We have the Boxer, which is super cute and very cool as well. We're gonna have the Beagle also joining. And we have the Amstaff. But if I jump in a game real quick and show how it works. So I'm on the dev build right now. So you've got some mentions and some things that don't look great. What I can do is I can probably jump in mine, which is not the dev build. If we go in, I'm gonna get the best Dogami that I have so that it looks better. So I can run very fast. So we have Grissini, so I can see.
Whoa, your guy is so much further advanced than mine, man. I'm so jealous. I'm like at level like 6 or 7 or something. You're at level like 30.
She's a beast. Grissini is on Fuego. So what's very important for new players that are joining is that they look at the race preview. Basically, you're going to see that there's different colors. These are all color coded to your different skills. So the skills are the 6 symbols that you see next to your Dogami. Green is balance, for example. Purple is the mystic instinct of the Dogamis. Orange is jump. Blue is swim, etc., etc. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and make up for the skills in which we're not that good at, so that we can balance out. Well, that's my technique at least. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick some swim and balance and probably some instinct. And then I can equip a consumable, but because Grissini is a beast, I'm not going to do that. And here I can launch PvE. So this is me racing against the environment. So I'm in Atlantis here. What I'm going to do when I race against the environment is I'm going to earn stars, which I can then later use to do some trainings and to improve the skills of my Dogami.
Are you having to do any interaction with this, or is it all your dog doing it all?
So if you were paying attention during the certain sections where those power stones were helpful, he actually clicked on them, and for a temporary period of time, it upped the stats when he was running through that area. So those 2 power stones, you could just let it run, but if you hit those power stones, it boosts your certain attributes during that part of the game. Because your guy is such a beast and it's so fast, it happened even faster. Like I'm used to mine going a little slower because I'm brand new. But look at the bottom, those stones. So when he goes into certain engagement
by clicking the buttons when those things are happening.
So look, he clicked on one of them and now he clicked on the other, and you could see it. Or he clicked on one. Now he's about to probably click on the other. And boom, you see how it's winding down there. There's a certain period of time where it upped his stats during those sections.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha. So, that's cool.
So it's not just, click and watch. You can start paying attention, and then you can have different strategies. Like he was saying, he got the stones for the strategies to make him better. I've done ones where I'm like, no, I'm gonna use the one that I'm already really good at. I'm gonna like click the thing, and then I'm gonna eat the thing that makes it faster. What are those called?
Yeah, the Hari berries, or you
So
have
you
different types of consumables.
So the consumables don't up you by a number, they up you by a percentage. So I always take the consumable of my best one because percentage-wise, it'll pump it up even higher. Like I have no idea if I'm doing it right, but like it's super fun, and I'm sure that there's what we should do is we should have some community members on who are killing it in like the time trials and all this stuff, and ask them what their strategies are. Or maybe they don't want to tell us. It'll be funny.
They're
Because I'm
quite
sure,
sharing actually, but I mean, some of them are absolutely amazing. I mean, if I go, for example, in a VIP trial, so this is for all Dogamis that are between level 30 and 39. So this is a PvP event. So I'm going to select some powers here. Do I have enough for consumable? I don't have enough for consumable. I can take a small one. What do I need here? Okay, I'm going to get some smack kiwi. And I launch the PvP event. So I see who I'm against. And here I should get destroyed.
That's generally what was happening to me. That's why I was so stoked when before we started, and I got second place on my time trial. Maybe it's too early in the morning or something for your time zone or something, and I still had a chance, but I got like second place, and I was so stoked. 19 seconds, and that put you in 20th place, right?
20th place.
Are you running against real?
Here we go. We're seeing a comment. Eric said, "Avoid Chris's strategy. It's why I beat him."
Eric is a beast. He's quite good. I gotta say. Every time I go list? He's on first here.
Oh, he's on first. Yeah, he's dude. All right.
Oh my God, Eric. But
are these all people playing, or is there bots playing?
So
or is it all people?
This is everything that's in the PvP mode. So in the time trials and in the championships is asynchronous. So you're basically playing against other people's time. The events last 24 hours, and you have 24 hours to try and perform the best time possible against the others. So usually what you see is a few people start doing it once the time trial has been launched, the new time trial, and then just before it ends, within the last hour, you see the leaderboard start flooding with players that have been training for 24 hours just to get the best time before they inscribe it on the leaderboard.
Well, so the other dogs that are racing the race when you're there, like, are those like ghost dogs, like of other people's play?
They're the time trials. Yeah, they're because once somebody gets the time trial, their time is there. So I'm assuming it's like a replay of that dog, so you could benchmark against it.
Yeah,
correct. And for example, if only 2 players have participated in the event and you just jump in when the event was launched, you'll only see 2 other ghosts. So the ghosts that you're seeing on the track are the ghosts of the top 5 players on that map at the moment when you launched the race itself. So if you arrive first, you can do the time.
You can do the time trial again, right? The same one, and try to. So you can like do it, see how badly you do, keep training,
and try to work your way up. That's really cool. I like that. That's a good.
Tell me, there is so you have a certain amount of energy for your dog, right? Like you see the little lightning bolt at the top right. That's 100, and it refreshes every certain amount of time, like every 6 minutes or something. You get 1, right?
Correct. So that's absolutely
that's
right.
Kind of it's a little bit tough. You got to be careful not to spend all your energy because it takes a long time to get back. Is that like something you built in to kind of keep people from like just cheating and running all day? And
it's a mixture of different things, but the main point is to avoid cheating, and I think that's a model that's used in mobile gaming, so that you don't have bots basically running the dogs 24/7, and you have somebody running 10 mobile devices with 10 NFTs on one computer at the same time. So it helps regulate.
It's so that also It's so that Alon can go out and touch grass.
Yeah.
Sorry?
So Alon can go out and touch grass.
Exactly.
That's right. Because if I get a break in between work meetings, I might start playing the game instead of eating or going outside. And this forces you a little bit. But you can go to your other dogs, do a bunch of games, and collect more stars. Is what I usually do, and then come back.
Exactly.
And train my
you
guy.
tend to farm stars with your least favorite Dogami.
Yeah.
Although I have to say, I don't know if it's just me, but I've got an emotional attachment to some of my Dogamis. My wife was asking me the other day if I could lend her another Dogami. She's already got 3 of mine because she wanted to be able to play more. And I was like, listen, I'm going through the list. I just don't see who I can,
you have
separate
to
myself
go buy her.
from
Go
right
buy
now.
her one. Go buy her one.
Well,
Exactly.
so that brings up the question: Are people going to be able to breed their Dogamis at any point? Is that
Yes? That's the big question. It's something that we've delayed for a long time. Initially, breeding was supposed to happen shortly after we launched the first NFTs, and we had at some point a pivot in our game strategy where it started off more as a Tamagotchi, moved more into something that we thought would be more scalable for us, and so we needed to fully define what the game was going to be like to try and project on what the balancing needs would be if we include breeding. So once we have the revamped version of the game, breeding will come. It's scheduled for the end of the year, but it really depends. The
hard part with all of these apps and when they have breeding involved is all of a sudden now your dog or the dogs become inflationary, or in many games it's been horses, right? And the horses become inflationary. Now there's too many of them out there. So like the question is if you're going to allow breeding, how do you make it so that way, they're just not an infinite amount of dogs out there, right? I think the oldest one that we know of is crypto kitties, right? I'm sure if anybody's been in the crypto space long enough, they probably have a crypto kitty somewhere. And there's like there's like over 1 billion crypto kitties now in the world. And the thing is because of that, it's completely diluted their value of what the value of having a crypto kitty.
But does it up the value of the OG ones, like the original ones, or anything like that?
I mean,
we also
buy an old one, but yeah.
But is that important, right? Is the importance of this to make an NFT more valuable? Or is this?
Well, you kind of want to.
That grows.
You kind of want your dog to like be cool and old and be like, yeah, look, I don't know. And that's the question: is if everybody has a dog that has super running powers and it's fully diluted, I don't know. But maybe that's something that you want. Maybe you want it to be a low barrier to entry, so that way everybody can have a dog, right? Because that's one of the reasons why I didn't get in.
Kevin, you gotta expand on this thing. Are you suggesting that the dogs should die eventually? Because I'm not a fan of that idea.
You see, this is an interesting comment because usually what you would have in most let's say traditional Web2 games that have breeding or fusion is that the two entities that you put together would then disappear to give place
That's
to.
True. Yeah. Sometimes you combine
new creation.
Yeah, if you play like a game on Roblox, like Pet Simulator, for example, when you create a huge or you
now you're
a golden or rainbow pet, you're taking multiple pets, you're combining them to make like a new thing. Is that so? You guys are considering all those different dynamics?
Well, we're not for our current breeding, but what we're considering the most is, and it's what we've discussed with the community in the past, is to regulate the breeding with specific seasons. So that depending on the amount of demand for the NFTs on the market, we can put breeding on hold for X amount of time. We can also limit it in other ways, but I mean, for the time being,
that's dark, Kevin. I'm sorry.
Well, I
feel like maybe there's a percentage chance, like when you breed one, that you lose the parents or something, right? Like I've seen that in games. But to like you get the pet and it might not live is, I think, a really sad game mechanic.
My wife has some experience with breeding. So I think one of the things that that might be done,
Are you talking about the amount of children you have, or your dogs?
Well, yeah, that too. But the idea is, so think of it this way: you're training your dog, right? And your dog has to reach a certain level of, of quality of frame. Like they have to win a certain championship breed in order to be allowed to breed, right? Because like you want to distinguish, you want to breed a dog that's distinguished, right?
Yeah.
I think they call it the AKC or something like that. My wife knows all that stuff. But like it wins a trophy, and now that trophy allows you the ability to then breed your dogs because you're going to breed a really good quality dog, right? And so there's almost like reasons to reach certain levels so that way you can then breed your dog with another dog at that level, and it's like breeding
it sounds like there could be like so many cool.
There's so many gamification things that could be.
While I'm watching you, I've gotten I got an idea here. Or a question at least. When you show the dog, and I know that certain dogs they come with all the stones, right? But then as you unlock levels, you get to use the stones. Are those the stones each dog has? Are those random? Are they exactly the same per breed? How does that work?
No,
Because
so
also, will I be able to ever like trade the stones?
Or does the dog go with the
separate
stones?
them? Yeah.
Does the stones go with the dog?
the stones come with the Dogami, but they're not random at all. So they're based on the highest skills that you have and the lowest skills that you have, and it pulls out then from a pocket of choice. It's kind of like when you're picking out games to be played in the final phase of a World Cup. Depending on what you have, you access bowl number 1, and depending on what you don't have, you access bowl number 2, and then your skills are pulled out from that.
So like if my dog, for example, the one that I use the most, I think is my black lab. And so there was exact stones he gets, or he pulls randomly from a basket of 10 black lab stones or 10 Labrador stones or something like that.
It would depend, and I would have to look at the game design document because it's quite complex. But basically, for example, if you have if you look at your different ranks, you have ranks that are above. So they start at rank E is the worst, and they go to rank S, which is the top for a specific skill. And those are the basic ranks that you have that you're going to build on. Mm-hmm. So here we can see that this corgi, his best attributes are balance and instinct. So what's going to happen?
So you didn't get. I don't think any of mine got a rank S. Is that super rare for one of your pets to have a S tier?
It depends on the rarity. If so, you start off with a basic rank, and if you have a bronze, it will randomly increase a rank by 1 on one of the 6 skills. If you have a silver, it increases the rank on 2 of the skills. If you have a gold, on 3, and a diamond on 4. So imagine you start off with a greyhound, which already has a high ranking in velocity. If you have, for example, gold, and you get 2 increases in rank on velocity, then you can have an S. It could also be that you have an A in a certain rank with silver or bronze, and the 1 increase that you have brings you to an S on that skill. And then when you have a rank A or above, that gives you a higher chance of pulling out a single skill stone. So for example, here we see velocity instinct is much more powerful than a dual skilled power, where here you have 100 per each. And is this on the death build? 150. So you see the single skill will give you a higher power increase on that skill module, and the dual skill will give you a lower one, but on 2 skills and for a longer distance. So that's how it's picked out. But it might sound a bit complex, but yeah, that's the idea. So that it's not random at all, and it's the only way that we can balance the game efficiently.
Nice. Okay. No, it does make sense because I've played the game enough to where I get like why those are special. So I think I probably picked my best dog to do the one for training. Maybe my other lab also has a rank A in here too, but not as good. So I probably picked the right one. I picked by looks before I knew how to play the game, so I got lucky, I think.
Before I was with the Pomeranian, and that was a bronze Pomeranian, but his skill level on balance is an S, for example. So the rarity tier helps you increase in ranks on different types of skills and more of them, but that doesn't mean that you're excluded from being able to have a rank S in a skill with a bronze.
It's cool. It's your what was that? You were 5th on that one. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but it doesn't really count because this is a preview of the level of the Dogami World Championship, so nobody has seen that. Okay. So I kind of played it in the background.
how do I know, or how well do I have to do to try to get into the championships? Like, I don't think I'm there yet at my level. How much, where's like the cutoff right now, like in terms of levels and things?
So for all free-to-play players, so the ones coming with 0 NFTs into the game, we're allocating 2,000 spots to the top 2,000 players. So you can connect your Polygon wallet to dogami.com, and under the championship tab, once you've connected your wallet and you signed in with your account, you'll be able to see where you sit. And I don't know if it's official yet, but we're airdropping the NFTs so that it's completely free to all users. So everybody that's been part of those 2,000 in the leaderboard will get the NFT directly airdropped, and they'll be able to come reveal it directly on our website and to discover what breed.
What chain will the be airdropped to?
On Polygon.
Polygon.
Yeah.
Wait, so cool. Championship. So I can see qualifiers. You are not Doga listed yet. You didn't make the top 1,000.
You have to be in the top 2,000.
If you're one of the free players, top 2,000, right?
Okay. And how many players are there so far?
So on the leaderboard so far, there's been over 7,000 people that have taken part on the leaderboard for the free to play.
So there's still a hope for people to hop on there and compete.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, but I mean, if you play well and you do great,
you're going to have it is super fun regardless. But yeah, you probably have to be playing around the clock to catch up, right?
All right.
Yeah. Otherwise, the best way is also to the second best way, because the easiest is definitely taking part in the qualifiers. But otherwise, if you join our Discord, you can find the right handles on our official website. We're doing a few quests and a few giveaways of Doga list spots for you to be able to get your NFT as well. So that's one way to get it if you're late to the game. And what's great is it's only with these new NFTs that you can participate in the Dogami World Championships with the big cash pool. So it's a competition that's specifically on this Gamma collection of NFTs. So this is your ticket basically to the Dogami World Championships.
Nice.
That's freaking awesome. It's super fun. I feel like we've spent a lot of time on the game, and you can see how fun and engaging and a tournament could be also. And I can imagine like a future where even when there isn't this big championship, you could come in and join some tournament that's ongoing and earn things or play things. It's super exciting. So just realizing we were saying boo to when you asked the question about which blockchain. Is that what because for a second I thought you were booing me for my time trial. It didn't make sense, and it took a second to click once I looked at the comments. But okay,
well, it's Kevin, man.
Yeah, no, Kevin is Kevin, just to say something rad about Kevin and how amazing he is. He was like the one-man Tezos evangelist. I was going to say cheerleader, but evangelist is probably a better word in LA for the longest time, for years before anyone really knew what was going on. And he's he's definitely one of the main reasons why I started playing with Tezos on chain and goofing around, and he is a rock star. So we're big fans of Tezos, but I'm also big fan of Polygon and Ethereum and everything else. But let's really quickly we only got a few more minutes because we got to cut off in about 6 minutes and finish up. But one of the things I wanted to talk about, right, is like, what's next? I know you kind of alluded to what's next in the game, but also what's next, like big picture, right? I know that Dogami is a company that wants to do a lot of things and grow. Yeah, that was funny, Rankin. Yeah, Chainlink has the Link Marines. Tezos has the Tez Marine, and that's Kevin. But Kevin, I would take Kevin over 100 Link Marines. So I'm a big fan. Like I said, Dogami is more than an app that's going to be a fun casual game, right? It's going to grow way beyond that. I'd love to hear more about that and what's next in a deeper level, right? We can even do this.
It's tough to talk about because our main focus at the moment is really the game, and that's the core experience that at least the studio is built for. Around that, obviously, we have the comic book, which the first issue was released. This is a support. Do I have? Yeah, I have one. Wait, how do I?
No, you got the whole thing in there, but yeah, we can actually. This is bigger.
We can help with the second one.
And the comic book basically is here to support the core experience with narrative. And I mean, it just feels like the best media to be able to do that in the short term. Allows anybody that's more interested to pick up. There's something about having a paper format in your hands, but that can also easily be transitioned digitally. And that's also kind of the stepping stone into leading to animation. And we've been in, let's say, early development for about a year now, in discussions with two incredible producers based in LA. And I was actually meeting one of them when we last saw each other in LA, Alon. And we're very much aiming for a release on an animated TV series for 2026. I think it helps grow Dogami towards a fan-centric audience, which gives them after access for them to be able to enjoy an interactive experience within the Dogami world. So everything that we're trying to build is always to support what's already there and not cannibalize what we're building. And you can't do everything yourself. So each time it's trying to align with the best partners in the world to be able to do that next extension. And the natural flow out of animation would be into licensing and merchandising, and continue to scale.
I was going to say, I think I've said this to you before, and I've talked about this with people when we talk about Roblox and things like that on this stream. But like, I was looking around my room because I wanted to grab one of my kids' toys, but I don't have one just ready to grab. But I mentioned earlier Pet Simulator. It's a Roblox game that has millions and millions of users. And kids love it.
They crashed Roblox, no?
Oh, they crash Roblox almost every time they do an update. Like, we're talking about millions of concurrent users on a Saturday morning when they do an update. Like, this alone can compete with almost any other game, and it's one Roblox experience. That's something people don't realize too. Like, I've explained this to people, and it doesn't fully engage in people's mind. Roblox as a whole game system, or if you think about it as a singular source, is bigger than the NFL in terms of active people watching, even during unless you're talking about like the end of the playoffs. Any week in Roblox, more people are participating than watch regular season NFL games. And you think about that, it's mind blowing, right? It's freaking insane. But here's the thing I was gonna say is my kids will beg to buy actual toys, physical toys for this Pet Simulator game. because they come with they call them DLC codes where you can redeem the thing. So when you buy a comic book, when you buy exactly, my kids have versions of that for Pet Simulator with pets. And when you buy them, you can scratch off a code, bring it to the game, and redeem something. I see a future where I buy the Dogami comic, or maybe I subscribe so I get one monthly in the mail. When I get one, I could also open up the last page or in the packaging, go and redeem a wearable or maybe even a dog, right? Or maybe it's like Pet Simulator where you get the egg and then you click the button a million times and you see little clovers come out and you hope you're lucky enough to hatch like the rare one, right? It's super
Wouldn't
fun.
it be awesome if the Dogami had these kind of little Mysticins or Gearlings or things like that would float around them and push their powers, and you could actually buy them in little eggs and discover them, and they'd be NFTs that you could.
I would love that.
You could trade them and fuse them to make better NFTs.
So this is where we're about to go, right? And wouldn't that be nice? But here's the thing: is you ask any little kid, this is the future, because you ask any kid, wouldn't it be cool if you could take these with you or sell them for the parts in the other game or whatever, and their minds blow or their eyes get big and they're like, yes, it's so unfair that I can't take it to the other game and trade it for Robux and do this and do that and whatever. And it's like driving them nuts. And that's where they're going to graduate into Web3. And we could do a whole another hour or way longer about that. We could do a whole weekly podcast just about that. And I would be stoked to actually do it because it's fun. And I think it is the future of where gaming is going. Anyway, we're kind of out of time. I know you hinted at some things, but before we go, I know you have to run and so do I. Quickly give everyone dogami.com. We already shared that on the screen, but you'll have the links down below, and here Rankin is sharing it. Any other specific places you want to plug before we sign off, and then we're just gonna bug you and have you back somewhat regularly to give us updates.
with pleasure. No, I think I would just say it's a welcoming group of individuals. I think we have something special going on in the Dogami community. So if you're not interested in gaming, but you're interested in meeting like-minded individuals, I think our Discord is a great place to start. There's some incredible people there, and if you are into gaming, we try to build something where we put the experience first and we put the tech in the background to support what we want to do with the experience. And it will become more and more and more fun with time, and bigger and bigger and bigger in terms of experience. So we're waiting for you.
One quick question for me. Do you have to feed your dog?
Do I have what?
You have to feed your dog. Is it one of those things that if somebody goes and plays and they buy a dog and they don't feed their dog, is their dog going to die or something like that?
You will not kill your magical dog in this app.
That was actually really important for me. I don't like games where or NFT games and things like that, where if I forget or I'm just too busy to log in for a week, I lose something or I miss an opportunity. Yeah. So that was actually important to me. I was excited that I can show up when I show up and make my dog better over time. And if I don't show up, maybe this particular tournament I won't do good in, my dog will be better next time around, right? So that's maybe
your Dogami can be in a little bit of a mood if you haven't been in the app for a while. But that's coming.
Yeah, maybe you get a boost if you do come regularly versus if you, or maybe you get a 20% knock of your stats if you haven't raced in a week or something, or give them some stats.
That's nasty.
All right. I know. Hey, okay, guys. Thank you so much. It was great seeing everyone and everyone in the comments and who's watching live. I appreciate you. For everyone who watches it later, next time, come and watch it live so you can ask questions or make comments. And we will see you all soon. Thanks for joining us. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much, guys.